Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome to Grounded 2, and welcome to what is going to be a video going over one of my favorite features from the original game of Grounded. From every single time they updated a game, we got one thing, and what was that? New areas to explore. So let me tell you guys how excited I am that we are going to be going through and getting a new map to explore. And not only that, the map that the game is going to launch in early access with, which means yes, we're going to be getting updates, but the map size that we are getting is in the starting area that they're giving us is the size of the original game of Grounded's map. So that means that this map is going to be anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times the size of the original game of Grounded. There's going to be so much to explore. There's going to be so much to find. So instead of talking about all the new bugs, all the new armor, and all the new weapons, and everything else that could be coming to Grounded 2, instead, we're going to be taking a minute to talk a little bit more about what we could go out and find, things from the map that could be similar, things from the map that are going to be different, and some of those new biomes that we're going to be able to go and explore in the game of Grounded 2. Alright, so taking a look at the map here, guys, really quick, we're going to blast through the things that are going to be very similar to the original game of Grounded. 1, all this grassy area that's over here. There's grass all over in the backyard of Grounded. There's going to be grass all over in the park. It's no surprise to anybody, so moving past that right away. 2, we have a pond area. I don't know if this is going to be the same, if it's going to be as deep or deeper or not as deep. It could be a pond, it could just be an inlet, it could be a swampy area, I'm not sure, but to me that looks like deep water, a pond area. Other things that are going to be very similar is going to be things like the trees. Now, we only had one big old oak tree in the middle of the backyard in Grounded 1. And we had a hedge and the stump and all that. Yes, I know, the wood pile, but we only had one big live tree. And the builders out there know what I'm talking about when I say you guys made some major bases, some massively tall bases that we put huge zipline towers on before we got access to the zipper, or when we had access to the telepody. Before that, the best way to do stuff was to build a big old tower and zipline places. Now, they did say that ziplines are going to be in the game, but they are going to be held off at the beginning. When they launch the game, the ziplines won't be in there. Now the game is launching in early access, so it's very possible that they're going to come in the first update, maybe the second update, I'm not sure, but they want us to focus on those buggies. But more on that in another video. But back to what we were talking about with these trees and stuff like that. There's multiple of them. There's the one big one that's right here by the hot dog stand. There's a pine tree. We've never seen a pine tree in Grounded before. We've seen pine cones, but we've never seen a pine tree. So it's going to be cool to have a pine tree in here. I'm hoping we can climb to the top of this thing from the ground. But it could be one of those ones where the bottom is just blank. It's just a log that goes up and then poof, pine tree at the top. Who knows? But it's going to be cool to see a pine tree nonetheless, so we can guess that there's going to be the return of pine cones in the game. Then we have a tree that's back here in the garden, and then this one that's down here in the bottom left. This either is in the park or right outside of it, but I think it's going to be in the park, and I think that this is the tree from the trailer where you can see them riding the buggies up the tree. I think that's that tree. Now, there is more trees hidden behind this fog and stuff, but that area, I'm guessing, is the development area, which is why it's clouded over, that we haven't seen that zone yet. So enough about trees, guys. They're trees. Other things that are going to be the same from the last game, looks like we have what could be like a tool chest that's right here, a bike that's right here, what looks to be either a lawnmower or a wheelbarrow. My guess is on tipped over lawnmower. And then back over here looks like we have a trash zone and some hedging as well right behind this statue. That kind of covers everything that was similar to the game. This is somewhat similar. This looks to be a table of some sort. This is either like a banquet table, a reporter table, or maybe even just a zone where the kids were playing games. I'm not sure. I did see some hints at Minotaurs and Myrmidons. Minotaurs and Myrmidons. That's it. In there, it could be that they're just on the ground. It could be a picnic blanket. I'm not really sure, but that looks similar to some of the stuff that we've seen in the last game. It also looks like that there's a tire in the water here. At least that's what I'm seeing that looks like. But nonetheless, that's where I think the similarities of the map are going to be. Things that are new that I'm excited to see are, one, going to be this massive statue over here. This massive statue not only is of Dr. Wendell and Burgle, but it's also very flat. And you guys know when you have very flat surfaces, what do us as content creators and creators and builders in Grounded like to do? Build large bases. You guys know when you have a big flat zone, those big flat rocks in the backyard, the logs, things like that, they're great to build bases, especially if there's not a lot of mobs around them. Do I think that's going to happen here with there not being a lot of mobs around that? Probably not. I mean, you have some trash that's over there. You got what looks to be some hedging, some flowers and things like that. Could be a perfect spot for a beehive near that area, because I know the statue is part of the story. So I know that the statue was just built. So is it going to be covered in bees? Probably not. Spiders? Probably not. They just built it. But nonetheless, there's a big statue. Then we have what everybody's been talking about, the giant tipped over ice cream cart. Now this ice cream cart is going to have all sorts of cool areas to explore in it. There's going to be some bugs that are walking around in there. We saw that there's a scorpion in there at one point. We saw that there is going to be all sorts of frozen stuff, from frozen grass to ice cream to even popsicles are going to be down in this area for you to go through, explore. Maybe we'll be able to harvest popsicle sticks. Who knows? But at this point, there is a big tipped over ice cream cart that is going to bring a cold biome to the game. Finally, is it going to be cold? Which is the opposite of, the sizzle that we had from Grounded 1 with the sandbox. Maybe it could be a status effect. I'm hoping there's a status effect, because if we zoom out again, guys, I'm missing two things right now. One, I don't really see a grill. Okay. I've looked all over. You could say maybe this back here could be a grill. Maybe something over here could be a grill, but I'm not really seeing one. Maybe up underneath here, but I'm not really seeing a grill area, a charcoal area, or a sandbox at this point, which means antlions could also not be in this game as well. Not really sure yet, but we do have this big old clouded, fogged over area, so could there be a sandbox back there? Maybe. Am I hoping there is? You bet, because I'd love to see all of the OG biomes come back to Grounded again. Now, what else is missing? Haze is missing. I haven't seen a haze yet in here. It could be that there's a zone back there that we haven't seen yet. It could be that it's underground. They did hint at an anthill or a hole in the ground where some radioactive stuff was buried, and that's where we're going to find cockroaches. But I'm not seeing a haze zone in here. Maybe back here. Maybe there's some weed killer back here that's going to make this whole zone a haze zone. I'm not sure, but I'm not seeing that yet. I do see some swampy area that's down here. That could be where those mosquitoes hang out. You guys know I don't like them, but hey, it is what it is. They are bugs in the game, so hopefully we'll see that return. Other biomes that I think are missing right now, I'm not seeing like a shed anywhere, so undershed might be missing as well. That was a really big part of Grounded 1, though. Big part of the story there was digging underneath the shed, so do I think they're going to bring that back? Maybe. You could say this tiny green chunk that we have up here could be a shed, so maybe we'll see a shed come. I'm not sure, but for now, I'm pretty excited for everything that I've talked about. The last couple big things I want to talk about is, one, this big old hot dog stand. I'm hoping we finally get the ability to go inside of a building. You guys know we got to go under the shed, right? And we got to go in a big bin, the Brawny Boy bin that we got to go in, and that's where the Hornets were. But we've never been able to go inside of a big building like the shed or the house. Both things were highly requested. Hundreds and hundreds of times. People asked, can we do this? Can we do this? Are you developing this? Are you working on it? And Obsidian always came back and said, we don't know, probably not. And then when they finally launched the game, they said no. So I'm hoping with Grounded 2, we can get inside this hot dog stand. It may not be a house, but it'd be really cool to see something that big that you can get in. Giant stove, giant sink, giant bins, giant counter, giant crates, what have you. All these different places that are really going to show off how tiny you actually are. So I'm hoping we can get inside of there. And the last place I'm super excited for, guys, is being able to explore this garden-like area in this back corner. This garden area that's back here, I think, has a lot of opportunity in it. From different plants that are growing to different bugs that can grow in there, because, you never know what's going to be invading your garden. We've already seen scorpions somehow in this park, so who knows? We've heard talks of a tarantula somewhere out on the map as well. There's so many different things that could be here. And if you have a garden and you have a caterpillar, well, it makes sense the caterpillar's eating the garden, right? So anyway, super excited to see that spot. Looks like we have a couple different garden plots back here. What looks to be maybe a small greenhouse of some sort. If it's not a greenhouse, then a well maybe. And then some more like empty dirt areas over here. I do not think that that's going to be a sandbox. It could be, but that looks like dirt, guys. So probably not. There's another trash bin over here, so maybe another trash zone, but looks like we kind of already have one over here. Now, in this hidden area, there's a lot of speculation about what could be back here. I could make guesses all day, but I think what's best for us to do at this point is accept the fact that there's going to be so much more that's coming to this game. Like I said earlier, this map, the starting zone, the starting area that they're giving us when they launch Grounded 2 is the size of the entirety of Grounded 1's map. And they're going to just keep expanding. Does that mean 2 times bigger? Does that mean 3 times bigger? We will see how big the map actually gets, right? Now, the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is talking a little bit more about the pond and the street that we see over here. Do I think we're going to be able to get in either of those, like this lake or this road that's over here? That's what I'm talking about. I honestly don't think we're going to go in the road. There's a possibility for the lake, but I don't think we're going to be going out in that road out there. There's not really anything out there right now. I think that that's going to be the same barrier that we got along the sides of the yard, not letting us leave the backyard. I think that that's what that's going to be. I don't think we're going to be able to get out there. And if we do, I don't really know what we're going to find out there. I mean, it's mainly cordoned off. Maybe we can. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm going to guess no. So that's really everything I wanted to cover today in this video. Now, I'll tell you guys, there's so much more to cover for Grounded 2, and you know I'm going to be here covering every single aspect that I can, going over bugs, armor, weapons, skill tactics, all of that, exploration, secrets, story, anything and everything for Grounded 2. You know I'm going to be covering it. So thank you everybody so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe because we have so many Grounded 2 videos coming, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. And also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.